questions. Braylon Edwards, it is that time of the week we like to do Top 10 Thursday. Top 10 Thursday.
Top 10, baby. You know what? I looked at the draft. I said, how are these players' NFL careers going to be? So I came up with some questions to see what did you guys think and who are going to be the answers to these questions. So the questions, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, at home, pretty simple. So I'll start off with, we'll go 10 to 1. Who in this draft is going to be your offensive rookie of the year? I'll go Maz, Flano, Ryan.
Ooh, I like it.
Offensive rookie of the year is going to be Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. I don't know who's going to take him. Whoever takes him, he's going to follow in Garrett Wilson's footsteps. I like that kid to make a splash right away.
I like it. I don't have a problem with it. Flano?
I'm going to go with Bijan Robinson. I think that
coming.
he is going to be one of the top 5 rushers in the NFL from day one. And depending on the situation, he could go even higher. So, Bijan Robinson.
I like it. Ryan Ermanni.
I'm going to go with the number 1 overall pick. It's going to be Bryce Young. I think Carolina is going to be a really decent football team this year. I mean, last year they had no quarterback. They traded away their best player in Christian McCaffrey, and all they did was go down to the final weekend of the season and compete for a division championship, even though the division sucked. Yeah. I'm not sold on Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay is down, so Carolina could very well win that division. If they do, Bryce Young is going to be the offensive rookie MVP.
Look at this guy. All right, right back to you. Defensive rookie of the year, Ryan Ermanni. Who you going with?
It depends who the Lions take. I really do. I think this defense is going to be really, really good this year. So I'm going to take Will Anderson. If Will Anderson goes to Detroit, which I think is a real possibility, I'm going to say Will Anderson Jr. on the Lions. If Will Anderson Jr. goes to the Texans, can I say Jalen Carter?
Yeah.
Jalen Carter.
Just take all the defense.
No, but I listen, because I honestly, as we do this, and I know this is fun and we're just kind of talking, but I think where these players go matters. I don't think it's up to, like, Will Anderson Jr. is a great talent. If he goes to friggin' Houston, he's lost in the mix. That defense sucks. That team sucks. Not saying it can't be better, but I'd like to be on a team with a bunch of defensive players already.
Makes a lot of sense. 100%. Charles Woodson told you the same thing today, did he not?
Absolutely.
Flannel Sam.
I am going to go with Will Anderson no matter what. I am personally guaranteeing he will at least have 10 sacks this season, which was more than Aiden Hutchinson had last season. And
the same as he had last year.
Depending on the situation, I could even see him maybe challenging for the all-time rookie sack record, which Javon Curse has
14 and
at 14 and a half. Absolutely.
Yeah, the freak.
The freak.
I just love Tennessee. I told you my father played for the Oilers, so naturally I became a Tennessee Titans fan.
Oh, yeah.
The freak.
The freak.
He played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Maz, defensive rookie of the year. Who you going with?
I'm going to follow the Jets trend again. I'm going to go Sauce Gardner's buddy. I'm going to go Devin Witherspoon. He's going to sign here with the Lions. He's going to make that defense that much better. He's not going to
be a holdout.
And Devin Witherspoon is going to be your defensive rookie of the year.
Remember when there were holdouts?
I held out. I held out. I think I held out. When I came into Kent, when I signed the day of the first preseason game. So I tried to play in the game too. My coach was like, get your ass out of here.
You know, like just going back, even the Lions got screwed when they picked so high. I think Matthew Stafford and Ndamukong Suh was the year that they stopped being the highest paid player every year. Remember, the number 1 overall pick would just be the highest paid player in the NFL every year. And they're like, wait a minute here. Maybe we should have this rookie scale. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Let's get to over 200 likes by the end of this segment. Nearly 1,000 live viewers.
Glad they did that after me. Maz, you are up at number 8. Surprise of the 2023 NFL Draft first round. Who's going to have the surprise career? Or surprise first year?
Who's going to have a surprise year?
I got an answer if you need to think about it.
Who's going to have the surprise year?
Go ahead, Ryan.
He's going to be a first-round pick. He's going to go to a good team at the end. It's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs.
Ooh.
Jahmyr Gibbs, running back from Alabama, is going to go to a good team, and he's going to have an impact. He will be the surprise of this year's first round.
Glad you said it. That's actually who I got to be the rookie offensive player.
Really?
Yeah, that's who I got actually. Flano.
Surprise. This guy's been falling a lot lately, so I think this will qualify as a surprise. I've got Quentin Johnston. I think he's going to end up having a better career than Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm a big fan of his. I think that he will be the star wide receiver from this class.
Nice. Don't sleep on Brian Bryce.
Good one, Braylon.
Brian Brisset?
Good answer, Braylon.
He's sneaking back up the charts. I think he's going to be the forgotten defensive lineman in this draft. I think he's going to be damn good. He's extremely fast for his size. Don't forget how good he was early. Got a little hurt later on in his career, second and third year, but he's going to be damn good. That's my sleeper for this year's draft.
How about Hendon Hooker?
He could be. I hope he is.
I just don't think he's going to play this year.
Yeah, because
But it's a surprise if someone picks him in the first round.
I think it's a guarantee. I think Hendon Hooker will
Really?
absolutely be a first-round pick tonight. You will hear his name. And again, part of it is because of that fifth year.
You're gonna need it.
Only first-round picks get a fifth-year option. That only happens in the first round. So
And if you don't believe Ryan Ermanni, just look at what the Philadelphia Eagles just had to do.
exactly,
They had to pay their second-round pick.
exactly.
Moved off. Are we on the next question?
Yeah.
Moved off of first, Ryan Ermanni. Who will be moved off of first out of the first round guys?
Meaning
Meaning who's a bust? I just don't like the word bust.
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. You think he's catching up a little,
Yeah,
little steam, a
he's
little
a little
late?
loosey-goosey.
They just need a
Yeah,
wide receiver,
yeah.
so they're throwing him in there.
Zay Flowers.
Okay.
A lot of people say he's the best wide receiver in the class.
It's like Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Like he's this year's version of Christian Watson in my eyes. You, Flannel Sam.
All right, to the delight of everyone else in the room, I'm being sarcastic. I'm gonna go with Anthony Richardson.
Ouch.
You know
Ooh.
what? I just don't see it. He was never productive in college. He was very, very inaccurate, and he's, to me, a bit of a media creation. They're trying to recreate the Josh Allen, the next Josh Allen. Josh Allen was the exception, not the rule. Anthony Richardson will be moved off first.
Yeah, he felt that. He felt that one in his soul. Tom Mazaway, I
I'll
called
go,
to you.
I'll go with old short arms, Peter Skoronsky. I'm gonna say old short arms.
That's not a
It's
bad
a
one.
bust.
That's
That's been
not a
bust
bad one.
before.
Such a
Remember Tony
jerk.
Mandarich? All right, let's go.
Ooh, Tony Mandarich. He got second pick overall to Michigan State, out of Michigan
To the
State.
Packers, and then we got to take Barry Sanders. Thank you.
I'm gonna go Christian Gonzalez. I think Christian Gonzalez is gonna be. They've been talking about him all in the early on. His name is kind of faded. He's gone from the Detroit Lions to 20th, 22, 23. It's something about those Oregon players, like with the exception of ours, but that's because he's Samoan and Tongan. That's different. They get a pass. But something about those Oregon players, they don't pan out. They don't translate. So I think it's gonna be Christian Gonzalez that's gonna not pan out. Do we got time?
Yeah, we got time.
All right.
And you know what time it is.
Who is going to have a chance at some point in their career to win Defensive Player of the Year? Not rookie, but Defensive Player of the Year. If it's more than one, that's fine. If you think somebody's going to win more than one, that's fine too. Any Defensive Player of the Year's match that you see in this draft?
I think it's a simple Jalen Carter and Will Anderson Jr. I mean, I think you'd be remiss in not mentioning those two guys that are going to have a great career.
Okay, Flannel Sam.
I mean, to me, it's an easy Will Anderson. I mean, I said that he'll challenge Javon Curse's rookie sack record in his rookie season. But when it comes to Will Anderson versus some of the others, he's going to put up those big-time numbers. He's going to put up the Micah Parsons type numbers if he pans out. And those are typically the type of players that win those kinds of awards. Give me Will Anderson.
I think that much of Will Anderson, and I'm just for the sake of disagreeing with you guys and going off the board a little bit. How about Nolan Smith, the
Ooh, that's an
outside
interesting
linebacker
one.
from Georgia? Because he too is going to go to a good team, and it's very rare that a defensive lineman is an MVP type player. I mean, you only have so many Aaron Donalds outside of Aaron Donald, who was the last one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is true.
You got to be really
Chris
dominant.
Jones would have been last year.
Perhaps.
Yeah, he
but-
finished second. He finished runner-up.
Exactly.
But yeah, to your point, yeah.
Exactly. Think about how dominant he was, and he didn't
a
win.
good
So I'm going to go Nolan Smith, Georgia.
I'm going to go Kalijah Cansey. I think Kalijah Cansey has a chance to be a defensive player.
That's big.
Obviously, Will Anderson, I don't even have to say. Kalijah Cansey, I think, once again, goes later in the rounds fast. He's on the outside. One more, maybe a break.
Yeah, one more, and then we'll break.
Offensive Player of the Year. Who has how many of the players in this draft have the chance to be Offensive Player of the Year? I think it's on. I'll go first. I think Bijan Robinson, Offensive Player of the Year. I believe Anthony Richardson has a chance to be Offensive Player of the Year. And I think that's it. I think Anthony Richardson and Bijan Robinson.
And Bryce Young.
I don't think Bryce Young.
No.
I think Bryce Young is going to be a tremendous leader of that team. I think Bryce Young is going to make cerebral decisions. But in terms of lighting it up, in terms of being the Offensive Player of the Year, I don't think so. It's just my thoughts.
Anybody else?
I would probably only say Bijan Robinson, but you know what? I'll add to it. I will add to it. Bijan Robinson will do it in a year in which he has over 2,000 yards from scrimmage.
I like it.
Sam, who do you want more, Bijan Robinson or Will Anderson for the Lions?
Probably
You're
Will,
only allowed one.
Will Anderson.
No, Will Anderson.
Will
Even
Anderson.
I want Will Anderson.
All right.
My Bijan love, by the way, I said the two caveats.
Yeah.
Will Anderson and Jalen Carter are gone. Then I want Bijan.
Yeah.
You got it.
You know what's funny about playing this game, doing this, trying to come up with who's going to be this, who has a chance to do this? You're starting to realize why he said there were only 15 first-round grades.
No doubt. There's no doubt about it.
We're struggling to name more than one person in things.
We're going to come back.
I got another bust. How about Lucas Van Ness?
Oh, God. He never even started a game at Iowa.
If you give me Iowa, just stop talking. That's how I feel about Iowa. In college, Iowa is great in the Big Ten. You're talking about drafting those players. If you mention an Iowa player, I will slap you.
I have something that'll force me to jump off a bridge. How about the Lions trade back from 6 to like 17, and then they have 17 and 18, and they get Lucas Van Ness and Sam Laporta. Two Iowa guys.
Thank God.
JETS.
No, God, please, no.
We're going to do it this way now. Any MVPs in this draft?
Yes.
Any MVPs in this
Yes.
draft? Brian Ermanni, you sound excited about it?
Absolutely.
Give me some MVPs in this draft.
I think Bryce Young is a potential league MVP. I think this kid's going to be a really good quarterback. And I also think Will Anderson is a potential MVP.
Right.
And I don't say that lightly. And the reason I'm going to say that he is a potential MVP is because I compare him to a Von Miller type guy. He can put his hand in the dirt. He can stand up. He can line up at linebacker, inside, outside, all up and down the line. There's so many different ways that Will Anderson can beat you. I just think that kid can do everything. I love Will Anderson.
I got your MVP.
Okay, I'm
You know
listening.
who I'm picking. I'm picking my unicorn.
Okay,
Picking Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's going to make somebody very, very happy. I'm telling you, the kid is going to be a winner. I don't care.
Okay.
He's a
Flannel
winner.
Sam.
I agree with Ryan on this one. It's got to be Bryce Young. I think he has the potential to be the best quarterback in franchise history. They've got some good defensive pieces. Miles Sanders, DJ Chark. I'm just saying, they can contend for the division next season, and depending on how well they draft and supplement their roster, they could be perennial winners. So give me Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. All right, you guys ready for my answer?
Yep.
For those of you at home, you can't see that because
That's not
I'm lying.
fair.
The answer is 0 MVPs. And let me tell you why. Before you say, man, hold on, let me tell you why. First of all, do you know how hard it is to win MVP? So you can count off every defensive player on that list. Because if TJ Watt ain't winning with 22 and a half sacks, if he's not winning MVP with 22 and a half sacks in 15 games, none of these players stand a damn chance.
You're right.
Taylor was an MVP.
Yeah, and guess what? 40 years ago. Now, you want to get to the offensive side of the ball? Running backs don't win MVP. That cancels Bijan Robinson. I don't care what Bijan Robinson does. Derrick Henry had 2,300 yards from scrimmage. Did he win MVP? He definitely did not. He lost to Aaron Rodgers. Or what did he lose to? Your boy, I think. Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't matter. Quarterback-wise, I don't think Bryce Young has enough to win MVP.
No.
I think he has enough to be a damn good player in this league. I think he definitely can sustain some wins, and in that weak division, definitely can go over. But no, Anthony Richardson, no. Will Levis, he'll be a bust. CJ Stroud, good career, not an MVP. MVP is tough to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. Why you laughing so hard?
I'm laughing, man, because every time they take Sam Flannel's shot, there's Maz in the bottom right-hand corner, and it makes me laugh. I just think it's so great. It's so funny. I just love it. I just love it.
That's fun.
That's a shot.
Okay, maybe.
I just love it.
Okay, Anthony Richardson.
Listen, Cam Newton won MVP.
And that's why I just said.
That's why.
Okay, true, but Cam Newton is one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. Like, let's not act like he didn't do what he did in the 2010 season, going into the national championship game where they beat a terrible Oregon. So pipe down. But if it's gonna be anybody, it will be Anthony Richardson, I think.
Yeah,
Because of that, it'd be
I agree.
Anthony Richardson. And I'm still looking.
Two more, right?
Most Super Bowls.
Bijan. And the reason I'm going to say Bijan is because I'm going to say he goes to Philadelphia, and I think they can win 2 of the next 4 Super Bowls, and 2 might be the
Yeah, it might be the winner.
Might be the winner.
Might be the, I agree, because I actually had, when you talk about Bijan Robinson, you talk about offensive rookie of the year. I think based on that system, Bijan could be the offensive player of the year, period. Like how that team is set up, he could be the offensive player of the year. If it's the Eagles, which we think it is, he could be offensive player of the year this year. So, yeah, definitely I think Bijan as well.
Ooh, this answer is going to seem like a cop-out, but Super Bowl is very situational. I say whatever receiver, defensive lineman, or offensive lineman falls to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Brett
good.
Veach knows how to pick them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fact
is
right
good.
there.
Yeah.
Or the 49ers, baby. Or the 49ers. Nah, that's a good one. It is situational. That's why I just threw it on there. First All-Pro and then best
Whoever's
career.
a Lions pick, that's who I'm picking.
All
Or
right,
Super Bowls.
My one player is
Will
both
Anderson
of those.
answers all these
No,
questions?
1 and 2. Best career in first All-Pro. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I've got it. And maybe even a gold jacket. Paris Johnson Jr.,
Ooh.
the offensive lineman. The offensive lineman.
You reach for that one. I like that. Well, not reach,
Yeah,
wrong run. You went to your bag for that one.
It's an offensive lineman who's going to probably have, all these other guys we're talking about, how long is their career going to be? I mean, Paris Johnson, the offensive line is probably the guy that's going to play the longest.
Yeah.
So I'll take, as my little 100-page sheet here that I have, I'll take the number 1 offensive tackle on the board, Paris Johnson, and I'll say he's going to be my first All-Pro and have the best career.
First All-Pro, I think, is an easier answer. I wouldn't even try to look for it. I think it's Will Anderson Jr. I think he's the first All-Pro. Or Jalen Carter. Because I think Jalen Carter could kind of have an impact like Quentin Williams did last year with the New York Jets. Best career, I think, is going to be Kalijah Kancey. I know that sounds crazy. Smaller, but less injury. He's faster. Kalijah Kancey, I think, will have an extended career. I think he'll have the best one.
He's a little bit of an enigma to me because he's so small, and I think a lot of people believe that we just, the everyday sports fan sees Aaron Donald in a Pittsburgh Panthers uniform, and you put Kalijah Kancey next to him, and these guys look similar.
They really don't even play the same position. That's the funny thing.
Well, exactly. So I think a lot of people just line those two guys up and say, if Aaron Donald can do it,
if he didn't go to Pitt, you wouldn't hear one Aaron Donald comparison.
Exactly.
He goes to Pitt, it's an Aaron Donald comparison.
He does have a great tape.
Oh,
You
yeah.
watch his tape.
He does.
He looks great.
He does.
I didn't see any of the bad plays, but his good plays look really phenomenal.
You got to be leery when you're watching tape with the ACC because there is no bad film because ACC stinks.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got to be careful watching that ACC footage.
I like that Drew Sanders kid in Arkansas. I hope the Lions get him. A linebacker guy could. I like him, man.
He was good. He was at Alabama. He played inside.
Yeah.
And then he got to Arkansas. They moved him outside. So he's played in. He's played out.
Every play he's in.
One thing you got to pay attention, I said this the other day, the Lions, a lot of what I'm hearing from Brad Holmes, if you pay attention to the players that he breaks down, they play multiple positions. They started off in one position, they moved in. And I know that's everybody in college football, but these guys play at a high level, multiple positions. I think that's what Brad Holmes is looking for. The more you can do, players that can play safety as well as DB, players that can play inside as well as outside on the defensive line. Watch out for players that have multiple purposes and uses.
I'm so intrigued by what Houston does it to, because that's when I think the draft starts. And I'm really intrigued to see how many teams are able to trade and how many trades will be made, because for the longest time there was a rule in football that you don't want to trade away your draft picks, and then you saw teams trade off their draft picks for Super Bowls. F them picks, right? Wasn't that the saying? Yep. And then it was unheard of to trade within your division. And now everybody's trading within their division. And then on draft night, there hasn't been a crap ton of trades. Watch there be like 5-6 trades tonight. I mean, whether teams fall in love with players, teams don't fall in love with players, but just want to try to accumulate more picks in another draft. I am curious to see how many trades are made, because that could just totally turn this whole thing upside down.
Everybody's always trying to change the game. Everybody's always trying to change the game.
That's kind of where I was going with that, too.
100%.
Thank you for picking me up on that.
As soon as something changes, like as soon as something occurs, this is the new way to do something. Everybody jumps on that bandwagon. Then it takes the person that's 11th on the bandwagon, like, wait, if everybody's doing this, then how is the next wave to have success? And I think that's what you're seeing. Like every year, someone's trying to figure out what aren't people thinking about? What's the new wave? Because that one's not going to work forever.